Former Man United players' comments irrelevant, Carrick. Michael Carrick has branded the noise generated around Manchester United by former players irrelevant, and says Roy Keane's personal comments did not bother him. Carrick inherited Keane's number 16 shirt when he joined United from Tottenham in 2006. He went on to win 5 Premier League titles and the Champions League, but United were at the start of their downward spiral when they were beaten by Olympiacos in Europe's top-tier competition in 2014. Carrick gave what Keane felt was a dour interview after that match, and the Irishman's assessment triggered a fierce response from Carrick's wife Lisa at the time. Although she quickly deleted an X-rated social media post, Keane has evidently not forgotten and branded her a big mouth when he assessed this week's appointments at Old Trafford on the latest Stick to Football podcast. Keane also criticised the appointment of Johnny Evans to Carrick's coaching staff, in addition to that of ex-England assistant boss Steve Holland and Jonathan Woodgate, the former Leeds and Real Madrid defender, who previously managed Middlesbrough and was part of Carrick's staff at the Riverside. The former United skipper and Gary Neville will both be part of Sky Sports' coverage of the Manchester derby on Saturday, providing another platform for controversy. "They're not putting more pressure on me," Carrick said. "I don't feel that. There are plenty of opinions around, some positive, some not too much. It's totally irrelevant in terms of what I focus on. There's a lot that can be said, it's the way of the world. I'm not going to pay too much attention to that. For me, the players and staff, we focus on how we're going to succeed." Asked about the personal attack by Keane, Carrick said, "It didn't bother me." The Manchester United head coach said he had not been set any targets for his 17 games in charge, but spoke about European qualification being a step forward. He also said he had spoken to Sir Jim Ratcliffe and members of the Glazer family when they held their monthly board meeting at Carrington on Thursday, although his primary contact is with Director of Football Jason Wilcox and Chief Executive Omar Barada. "The ownership group were in and around it," said Carrick. "It was nice to see them and meet them. We were able to share a few things and they wished all the very best." United go into the Manchester derby with City at Old Trafford in poor form, with 1 win in their past 7 games. They have dropped 6 points in their past 3 league matches against Wolves, Leeds and Burnley, and are 7th in the table. However, with a trip to leaders Arsenal next weekend, Carrick could easily find his side in the bottom half of the table before a home game against Fulham on the 1st of February, when fan protests are planned against the ownership. However, Carrick dismissed the idea of United being a fallen giant at a low ebb. "I certainly don't think it's soulless," he said. "I think there's a magic around this place, you can't help but feel that. Part of my role and responsibility is shaping what we want to look like going forward. What happens on the pitch is one thing, but certainly the culture as well, how we think, how we act, how we behave, what it means for us to be here, is part of my responsibility. I've been back for 3 days and there's nothing I've looked at that's red-flagged anything. The players have been really good, willing to listen, willing to learn, wanting to do better, wanting to put better performances in, that's the feeling I've got. Everyone's desperate to do well and I've got a lot of belief in this group individually and collectively." Darren Fletcher said he sought the blessing of his former United boss Sir Alex Ferguson before taking interim charge at Old Trafford, and Keane claimed that the 84-year-old, along with former Chief Executive David Gill, hanging around like a bad smell. Former United defender Rio Ferdinand disagrees with his former teammate and told BBC Radio 5 Live that Ferguson doesn't have the influence that people think. "I think his experience is felt there," Ferdinand said. "To say hanging around like a bad smell errs on the side of disrespectful. The likes of Fletcher and Carrick do call him. They respect him. They have seen most of their career playing alongside him. Why wouldn't you call on that experience? David Gill, these guys are Man United fans. Why aren't they going to be around the club? I think that is more personal and Roy's situation around the manager. I wouldn't agree with that myself." Ferdinand doesn't agree with criticism over Carrick's appointment and said it was vital for the club to bring in a steady person. "I don't think it's an easy call for the people making this decision," he added. "What they have done is gone with someone who knows a good amount of the players, knows the club and is going to get a team around him with a blend of experience to give him the best chance possible. I think Carrick, in this situation right now, Where else are you going to look around and say, I think that is better, that is achievable and gettable?